Michelle used to feel like tracking her nutrition was this big, overly complicated process. And don't get me wrong, when you're first starting out with tracking your nutrition, it could be a little intimidating. I get it. But I gave her this one coaching tip. The whole game changed for the better, and now she has been staying consistent, and with that consistency, the results have also been compounding. If tracking your nutrition, your calories, your macros feels like a chore to you, you're definitely gonna wanna listen in to this episode because I got one big tip that I wanna share with you, and it's gonna change the game for the better. So I've been coaching Michelle for about 3 months now, and she has been staying super consistent with her workouts, which she's actually been doing for a very long period of time, but we started working together to really start to hone in on her nutrition just a little bit more. She's also been crushing her water intake and her sleep. Those 4 core habits we talk about all the time, or I talk about all the time, are huge. They are a game changer. But when it came to the nutrition side of things, we started to hit a little bit of a wall with overall tracking consistency for herself. And she sort of felt like she was spinning her wheels and restarting the whole system every single day. And instead of quitting all in general, she did one thing that is super important whenever you work with anybody, and that was she reached out to her coach. She let me know exactly what her challenge was. We linked up, and guys, I just want to share what we talked about, Michelle and I, so that if you're experiencing a similar challenge for yourself when it comes to dialing in your nutrition, which we know is massive when it comes to hitting your fitness goals, maybe this one problem that she was experiencing could also help you overcome your challenge, increase your nutrition tracking consistency, and even accuracy as well. So one of the big things I like to say when it comes to tracking your nutrition is also a skill set. Much like when we do squats, when we do deadlifts, or when we do bench press, we learn those skills over time, and it takes time to learn proper form. It takes time to learn all of the right techniques, achieve full range of motion, and just like those skills that we learn inside of the gym, we also have to make sure that we are building the skill set when it comes to tracking our nutrition. Because whether you're learning to track nutrition for the very first time or you're diving into using a new app, it's gonna be a completely new skill set for you to learn how to not only track your nutrition consistently, but also track your nutrition, which is your calories and your macros, accurately as well. So consistency is one big thing. That is your ability to stay consistent with tracking your nutrition Monday through, not through Friday, Monday through Sunday. Consistency overall is gonna have a massive compound effect. So you want to make sure that priority number 1 is you're always staying consistent. Priority number 2, after you build up that consistency muscle, is you start to refine the accuracy muscle. And with that, nutrition is all about progress over perfection. We're never gonna start out perfect when it comes to tracking. In fact, that goes with a lot of things in life, of course, but when it comes to tracking your nutrition, we wanna aim for progress over time and build the skill set of tracking so that you stay consistent with the process of tracking and you also improve your accuracy. And the more accurate you are when it comes to tracking your nutrition, I like to compare it to flying a jet, having all of the radars firing. If you are using a food scale, if you're using a nutrition tracking app, those are your 2 biggest radars so that you, when you're flying your jet, you are going from point A to point B as quick as possible. And we all know that if you're in a fat loss phase, you want it to be a phase and not a fat loss lifestyle. You want to be fully committed and you want to stay locked in and really try and stay consistent and accurate so that you get the heck out of that fat loss phase and you bring your calories and macros back up to maintenance, because that's where our body prefers to be at. So that was a little bit of a side tangent, but when it comes to your nutrition consistency, building that skill set of tracking your nutrition is going to take time. One of the biggest things though, when it comes to building that overall consistency when tracking your nutrition is definitely going to be learning your nutrition tracking app and all of the features that they have. One of the biggest features that I personally use for myself, and it's gonna be what we really hone in on for the rest of this video and what Michelle wasn't fully aware about, but now she's well aware and now she's been implementing and using this feature, and it really has been a game changer, is saving her meals to her favorites. And that's gonna look a little bit different for every single app that you're using, but for the coaching app that I use for my clients, that's saving meals to your favorite tab. And I like to call that building out your meal portfolio. As you build out your meal portfolio and you save more and more meals that are already tracked inside of your app. So all you gotta do is go to your favorites tab, look through your meal portfolio or your cookbook or however you want to term it and find that meal. Again, if you add a photo to that as well, it's going to make it a lot easier to find that meal. It's going to make the process simple. It's going to make the process quick. And if you can keep the process of tracking your nutrition simple and quick, consistency is going to be maintained. So again, using the app to your features, saving meals to your favorites tab so that all you gotta do is go over to your favorites tab, find that meal, and then simply press log it. Then once you do that, it pops it right up onto that screen. And as you track your meals, again, when you first get started tracking, you're not gonna have any meals saved to your meal portfolio. So it's important that if you know that you're gonna have a meal more than once, you track all of those ingredients accurately to the gram. And once you do that, you wanna save that meal to your favorites tab, add a nice photo, give it a nice title so that it's easy to find in your meal portfolio or your favorites tab, so that all you gotta do when it comes to meal time of tracking, all you gotta do is just open up your nutrition tracking app, tap that meal, press log, and then sit back and enjoy that meal. And that's how easy it can be, but it does take that upfront work of saving each of those meals to that favorites tab. But that was something that Michele wasn't fully aware about. And when we sat down and I really opened up her eyes to the ability to save the meals to your favorites tab, and also how you can save snacks to your favorites tab as well. So if you're routinely having a banana, also in the morning, let's say 2 servings of coffee creamer, and then maybe later on in the day, you're having a jerky stick for a little bit of protein or a protein shake. Sometimes you can even add all of your snacks under one meal or one saved meal as well. You could just title it snacks and have a photo of all 4 of them. All I gotta do is just head on over to my favorites tab and track all those snacks, and it's as simple as that. Again, if you can simplify your process of tracking your nutrition, it's going to make life way easier, way more maintainable and sustainable, and that's going to keep you consistent when it comes to tracking your nutrition Monday through Sunday. And again, that is the goal. Whether you're cutting, whether you're bulking, or even maintaining, if you're choosing to track your nutrition during those times, which again, that's really going to help you streamline and get yourself to that goal. So again, tracking your nutrition, it's super important. But if you're in a fat loss phase, that's when tracking your nutrition honestly is essential, because you want to be dialed in. You want to be consistent. You want to be accurate when it comes to tracking your nutrition so that you get into that fat loss phase and then you get the heck out of it, because your body does not prefer to be in a calorie deficit for a long period of time. One more tip that I'm going to suggest to make this whole process a lot easier is you want to pay attention to your overall meal frequency that you prefer. So for myself, I'm going to use myself as an example here. I like to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Sometimes if I am more so in a calorie maintenance phase or a muscle building phase where I have extra calories to work with, sometimes I'll either work in a 4th meal or maybe an extra snack as well. But if I'm in a fat loss phase, usually what I'll do is I will have about 3 meals a day. And when it comes to saving your meals to the favorites tab, let's just say that I'm having 3 meals per day and my overall calorie goal is 1,500 calories. Yes, that's very, very low for myself, but I'm just using this for example. If I have a meal frequency of having breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so that's 3 meals a day, what I wanna do is when I save those meals to my favorite tab, then I really wanna prioritize having those meals equate up to about 500 calories for each of those meals, so that when I track my breakfast, my lunch, and my dinner, at the end of the day, 500, 500, 500, I'm ending up close to my 1,500 calorie goal. And again, you always want to keep that protein high with all those meals as well, but that is another stage of the process. Progress over perfection when it comes to tracking your nutrition. You want to focus on one thing over time because there's so many different layers to nutrition. But if you can first off honing in on the nutrition tracking consistency by building out that meal portfolio, and then over time, slowly trying to work in a little bit more protein. If you're short on your protein, that would be the next phase. And there's steps for that as well. But hopefully, guys, Michelle's little breakthrough helped inspire you to either start tracking and really open up your eyes to how simple tracking can be if you put in that upfront work to save meals to your favorite tab, or even if you are in the midst of dialing in your nutrition a little bit more. Use this tactic to your advantage, guys. And if you do want a step-by-step process from starting out with that meal tracking consistency to improving the accuracy with your nutrition, along with having custom workout programming for yourself and dialing in all of your other 4 core habits to really have the entire system, then I'm gonna highly suggest that you click the first link down in the description where you can join the Summer Sizzle Challenge today. It's an 8-week-long program where we will dial in your nutrition over time. You will get workouts custom to whatever it is that you have available, whether you wanna work out at home or if you wanna work out at a gym. I got your back there. We can set you up with the right program to also match your busy life or your schedule. And all in all, hopefully you found some value in today's video. Guys, I really want to give a big shout out to Michele. Again, she started strong in the program and she discovered that there was a challenge. And now that we linked up and we overcame that challenge, she has been absolutely crushing it when it comes to her nutrition tracking consistency. And that is what it's all about. Guys, sometimes it's not always about sharing client wins all the time and testimonials and transformations. Don't get me wrong, those are good, but I also love sharing the challenges or the obstacles that my clients and I work through so that you guys can also see exactly what it's like to work with myself, would also help you overcome any challenges or obstacles that are in your way as well. So again, if you want to work with me, click that first link down in the description. You'll learn a little bit more by clicking on that link. You can learn more about the Summer Sizzle Challenge, everything it has entail. And if you have any questions on that, hop on over to my Instagram. You can also find that link down in my description as well. Shoot me a message if you have any questions before I get started. I would love to work with you to help you reach your goals. But other than that, guys, that's all I got for today's video. Again, hopefully you enjoyed. If you are new here, do not forget to hit the subscribe button right here. I upload new YouTube videos every single week and you do not want to miss out. And if you did miss out on the last video, check that guy out right up here. Guys, we will see you in the next video. Peace out. Until next time.